welcome back to my channel. This is Miss Ming. On my channel, I do a variety of lifestyle content and fitness videos. If this is the first time, make sure you subscribe and ring the notification. In today's video, I'm going to share some of my experience and tips in terms of how to do headstand. But before we start, I just want to do a disclaimer that this video is for entertainment purposes only. Before you try out any headstands or any exercise, make sure you check with your doctor to make sure you're safe. And if you've never done yoga or headstand at all, make sure you go to a professional to supervise you as you progress in your headstand practice. And if you're practicing at home, I highly recommend you to try it against a wall. I know it's not the best scaffolding because sometimes we do tend to rely on the wall a lot if we just keep practicing against the wall. But I started practicing headstand against the wall, but with time I was able to feel more and more secure and stable, and finally I'm apart from the wall, my dear support. So I know different people have different opinions on this, but if you're practicing at home, make sure you do it against a wall just in case you fall down. It hurts sometimes. I definitely felt a lot as I was practicing my headstand. So in today's video, I'm going to share some of the strategies and tips that I personally use to help me to achieve headstand. And later, I'm going to show you how I learned to practice headstand against a wall and slowly get farther and farther apart from the wall so that eventually you can do the headstand without a wall. Alrighty, without further ado, let's get in. There are two types of headstand. The first one is a traditional headstand. The other one is a tripod headstand. So let's first try out the traditional headstand. Any headstand start with foundation. I had a lot of challenge. I struggled a lot as I was trying to do a headstand without a wall or to lift my leg. But eventually I realized that it's the foundation that helps me to lift up my legs. So first we're gonna set the foundation of our traditional headstand. First, we're gonna come to all fours and drop your elbow on your mat. And here, you gotta make sure that your elbows, actually my hair is always in the way. My elbows are not super far. You're not doing this. You're not doing this. You're actually shoulder width apart. By doing this, you grab the opposite of your arm with your hand, and this is how much your elbows are apart from each other. And then you will interlace your hands together and try to tuck your little pinky finger so you're not standing on your pinkies. Please don't break your pinkies. So this is your foundation. You're creating this triangular shape that helps you with the stable foundation. So we're gonna come to this. So first, drop your elbow, grab it, interlace your hand, and lift up your leg. And from here, we're gonna walk, tiptoe, and then bend one leg slowly. And this is your first headstand. So the first headstand is with your legs bent. Slowly, as we're more and more stable, engage your core and lift up. Make sure you're actively drawing your shoulders away from your ears and engage your tailbone, engage your core, engage your pelvis, engage your legs, engage every single piece of muscle in your body. And make sure you're breathing. So make sure you're breathing as you're doing headstand. Slowly come down. As we come down, we come one knee, and come to child's pose. So stay in your child pose and breathe in. Allow your blood to flow back and slowly come back. Okay, so that is our traditional headstand. There are several techniques you need to pay attention. The first one is no matter what happens, maintain this triangle is the key. Maintain this triangle. The second part is as you're doing the headstand, initially I was doing this. So this is not this is not right because you're hinging your shoulders and your neck together, and this hinging motion is really, really bad for you, and it's not going to create you a good foundation for you to lift up your leg. Instead, allow some space, because when you're allowing your space, you're activating your shoulder muscle, you're activating all your muscles. So you're standing on your muscles, you're not really standing on your bones. So let's try one more time. So calm down, interlace your hands, and make sure your shoulders are drawing away from your ears, and lift up, put your head inside of here. Okay, now tiptoe, one leg, stack your hip on your shoulders. Once you stack it up, it's easy for you to go up. Allow some space, draw your shoulder blades back. Here we go. Slowly come down, go to child's pose. Okay, so I'm gonna do it in this direction. Try to create this foundation. Put your head inside here. Make sure draw your shoulders away from your ears. Allow some space. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Shoulder blades together. Engage your core, your thighs, pelvis. Slowly calm down. Child's pose. Okay, so that is the traditional headstand. I started my headstand practice with the tripod headstand. So this is the traditional headstand. Traditional headstand is a little bit difficult to me just because you're really balancing on your forearms and you have very little control of your headstand. So how I started was that I started with a tripod headstand. Tripod headstand is basically like its name. You have 3 pots. You have 3 points of contact to the mat. So you're balancing on your hands and on your head. So now I'm gonna try the tripod headstand. Alrighty, now let's try the tripod headstand. Tripod headstand is different from the traditional headstand because you're actually putting equal weights among 3 spots, 3 points of contact to the mat, including your head and 2 hands. The traditional headstand is different because you're wrapping your hands on your head. So you only have a very little point of contact, and my head was there just for balancing purposes. I actually didn't put much weight on my head, but the tripod headstand is a little bit different in a sense that it does hurt my head a little bit. So I would like to put a towel, but if you could also do it on a carpet. So basically you have your 2 hands firmly pressing down the mat, shoulder width distance apart. Put your head down and push, and then come up. So here, make sure that your elbows are hugging in. Your elbows are 90-degree angles. You're not pointing your elbows outward. And firmly keep pressing down. Elbows inward. Slowly come back. Take a child's pose. So if you are practicing the tripod, it's a little bit easier because you have more control because you're using the hands. But the thing when you're pressing up, it's very easy for your elbows to go wider than your shoulders. But this is when I was having trouble balancing. I was having trouble about hinging forward because you have to hug in. So your elbows are actually hugging in on the same line of your arm. So you're not doing this, you're doing this. You're firmly pressing down. And the more weight you put on your hands, the less weight you put on your head. By that, you have to firmly keep pressing down and hug in and actively draw your shoulder blades together and draw your shoulders away from your ears. So let's try again, the tripod headstand. The first thing is to put our hands down and make sure we're firmly grabbing it and put our head down. Come back to tippy toes. And then first bend. So first stay here, stabilize yourself first, and slowly press up. And hug in, keep drawing your shoulders back in. Slowly come back. Whew. Child's pose. Yes, that is our tripod headstand. I really like to do a headstand or any inversions because it allows our blood to flow to my head. It kind of helps me to, rejuvenate. It helps me with my brain fog. It helps me when I feel lightheaded. So I highly recommend this practice. But if it's the first time, make sure you go to a professional, make sure you go to a doctor. And now let me show you how I do it in front of the wall. All right, so now let's move on to the wall practice. The first tip about practicing headstand against a wall is that you're not standing right here by the wall. You're actually farther away from the wall. So you're about 1 foot or maybe a little 1.5 feet far away from the wall. So you're not really leaning against it. So the wall is there just in case, but your wall is not there to support you. So now we're gonna try the headstand. Go up and extend your leg. And if in any case you think you're gonna fall, try to just use one foot to touch the wall, come back to headstand, the other hand, another foot, come back to headstand and stay here. So you're not really leaning against the wall. The wall is there just in case that you want to support with your tippy toe, but it's not something like, okay, I'm gonna stand, lean against the wall. So similarly, tripod headstand, put your head right here so you're farther away from your wall. Come up. If anything happens, go like this. I don't need a wall anymore. Just pretend that it's not there. This is how you may practice against wall. You're not really like going against it. You're like farther away, but if anything happens, the wall is right there. You're not falling over. Alrighty, that's it for today's video. I hope this video is helpful to you in your own practice with headstands at home. And if you have any questions or if you have any experience yourself with headstand, any tips and tricks that you learned or any headstand variations you learned, please drop a comment down below so that we can learn from each other, share each other's experience, continuously improve our yoga practice. Alrighty, that's it for today's video. Thumbs up and subscribe to this channel, ring the notification bell, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!